And the vetting exercise of candidates seeking to replace Justice David Maraga, who retired in January, began on Monday with Justice Said Juma Chitembwe facing the panel. And today it's Philip Murgor's turn. And let's now cross over to the Supreme Court buildings and listening to that interview session.
In an economy like ours, first of all, I agree, 100%. And it wasn't directed at me. That message was directed at you and your colleagues. You get it wrong. Before you find out that you are wrong, it will be 5 years down the line. Investments will have moved. Amongst so many other things, you will never pick up again, because the whole region and the whole continent is now awake. When we came up with Vision 2030, it might have been the first such program that people are discussing. But within months, years, every country in the region is chasing the same investment, chasing the same targets. So the responsibility on the part of the JSC is think beyond the normal things. See the bigger picture, see where we would all like Kenya to be in 10 years.
Yes, I want you to tell us, do you fit the description here on ease of doing business? And can you give us 3, 4, 5 attributes that you have that will be assured that when you come in here, ease of doing business in this country, in as far as judicial, work is concerned, will be different in terms of the economic growth?
Business as a group, or investments as a category, have the greatest fears they have.
Right, and that's former Director of Public Prosecutions, Philip Murgor, facing the panel and trying to convince them how he'll be able to handle most of the things as the president, if elected or chosen as the next president of the Supreme Court of Kenya. And of course, KBC will be bringing you live proceedings. And he has a lot of competitors, including the first one who was interviewed on Monday, Chitembwe, and of course we had Martha Koome and Professor again, Patricia is part of the candidates facing or trying to replace Chief Justice David Maraga, who retired in January this year. And an activist has moved to court seeking an order to stop the ongoing interviews for the appointment of the Chief Justice. Member Ocharo, through his lawyers Dunstan, Omari and Shadrach Wambui, says that the candidates who have been interviewed so far admitted that they did not fill the wealth declaration form as required by law.
Member Ocharo, an activist, has moved to court in a bid to stop the ongoing interviews for the search of new Chief Justice. Through his lawyers Dunstan, Omari and Shadrach Wambui, Ocharo has argued that vetting process has fallen way below the constitutional threshold. They added that the 5 candidates, Professor Patricia Mbote, Appellate Judge Martha Koome, Justice Saidi Chitembwe and Justice David Njagi Marete, have publicly admitted during their interviews that they did not fill wealth declaration forms as required by law. 5 of those who have been interviewed have admitted on national television that they never filed the forms, the wealth declaration forms for their spouses. So the question is, how did they qualify to be shortlisted for the interview? They have also questioned why the interviews are being chaired by Professor Olive Mugenda in open defiance and insubordination of the Constitution and the statutory dictate that demand JSC affairs should either be chaired by the Chief Justice or his deputy. Article 259(3)(b) of the Constitution says anybody who is vested with the powers to act substantively in a position where the holder has died or the holder is no longer able to sit shall chair. So by law, under Article
259 7C 3B, only Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, the acting Chief Justice, Mwilu, can sit.
The file will be placed before a vacation judge, Justice Weldon Korir, for directions.